We've met this man. He is a phenomenal person. He tells us about how he gets in character.
He even shouted us out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
You should put that on there.
Yo, this is a shout out to Lost Legends TV, my boys Ray and James, rated NC. Yo, hey guys, so look forward to seeing you in person again. We're glad we can connect. Hope y'all are healthy and happy. Give them much love. Rated MC lives rocks.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Lost Legends TV, we are Rated MC. And I'm Ray.
I guess that means I'm James.
We're going to rank the Halloween franchise.
As of today. Which means we might go back and do ends whenever it comes out, but that's in October. This is a franchise that is near and dear to Ray's heart.
It's my baby.
This is his baby. As Friday is mine, Halloween is his. I'm going to let this man take the lead on it. And then once he does his, I go back and I'll do mine. We'll go back and kind of compare our lists and see how it goes.
Yeah. Because fun fact, we did this video last year. Didn't release it. It's been in the vault. Still in the vault. Because we do not only videos for the channel, but we do backup videos as well. And just judging by my list now, because we watched all the movies, it has drastically changed.
Yep.
So, who's to say in 5 years it won't change again?
These are not set in stone.
No, nothing set in stone.
Ray, kick us off. What is your number 12 in all of the Halloween franchise? What is the worst Halloween film?
Okay, this is, again, different than what I had last time.
Cool.
Mine is now, without a shadow of a doubt, Halloween 8, Resurrection.
Cool, I feel that.
Following up on H2O when this came out, right? It came out in 2002. Turn of the 90s again, because you had Halloween H2O coming off this Scream hype.
Yeah.
The 90s twist. And this was trying to get the early 2000s feel.
Yeah.
Well, Michael comes home and they're doing this webcam show in his house. And for the most part, Michael's not even doing nothing in the house. No. He's just chilling. Then he gets bitched out.
He does some kills.
Yeah. He gets bitched out. Old girl gets saved by somebody who's not even remotely close to him via webcam. Hey girl, get out the house. You know what I'm saying?
What's something good you liked about the film?
Score.
The score? That's the one good thing for you?
The score. A lot of these movies, one of mine, almost nobody agrees with. Freddy's dead. The concept of it, I love it.
Yeah.
What happens after all the Elm Street kids are gone? What's Freddy gonna do?
Yeah.
Let's explore that. Okay, but when they explore these awesome ideas, they goes to shit.
I'll hold you. My number 12 is Rob Zombie's number 2 film. Okay? I'm sure this is not high on Ray's list. You start off with the first Rob Zombie film. I'm not gonna say where it is on my list yet or not, but it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't like top tier. It was alright for a redo film. You know, and this is, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reboot?
A reboot. It was a decent reboot. And then you get 2, and it fell off a fucking cliff for me. I love Tyler Mann. Perfect. He is a terrifying ass Michael Myers. The fucking kills in the hospital, the when he killed that nurse and shit, fucking amazing.
Brutal.
This all comes down to the ending. The whole white horse thing with his mom.
And little Mikey.
They shot 2 different endings. The way she acted in the film was different.
Rob Zombie-esque.
It was very Rob Zombie-esque. It's not terrible, but God, sometimes it's all about sex and incest and shit. And drugs. God, it's just too fucking much. And then him talking and grunting and all this other shit. You could have gave me anything else. Alright, so you're number 11, right?
Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That's what I figured.
Again, I don't think those 2 will ever change. Those 2 are locked in.
They have to at least be in your bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, you can I feel like you could interchange those 2. This one's worse, or this one's just slightly better, given the day.
But the only reason I didn't put that below Resurrection is, at least with Tyler Maine's Michael Myers, ain't nobody bitching that motherfucker out. That's not gonna happen. You gonna poke him in the fucking face, tell him to get on. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. Yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Let's just take all the hate we've talked about and set it to the side, right?
Yeah.
The story alone, it's been done. When you follow the Rob Zombie's 2007 movie, okay, this is supposed to be 1 year later, right? What happens in the film? Let's talk about it. Nothing. You see Michael roaming around. He goes back to Haddonfield. He kills some strippers.
Cool.
He knocks off some policemen. Cool.
Alright.
Then he goes.
Did it have anything to do with the story?
Basically, you saved the last 30 minutes of runtime just to continue your story from your last movie. You have to throw in that cult bullshit and It don't even explain what the fuck Rob Zombie was trying to talk about. Michael and Lori sharing this hallucination about seeing his dead mom and seeing himself as a kid and holding her down in that shed and having him talk to Loomis, like die, and he getting his fucking head blown off. How does that pass production value, man? Yeah, it's garbage. Like I said, the only good thing about either of those films is Tyler Mane. I like the score of the film. You have Daniel Harris in the film, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif, he has one of the best scenes in the movie where he finds Annie again.
Yeah.
His breakdown is fucking heart-wrenching. He's not even the main character. It's just all over the place.
All right, so my number 11 is Resurrection. The webcam subplot made no fucking sense.
Danger Tank.
Why is so this is supposed to be a reality show that they're shooting. I don't think they shoot reality shows live. You know what I mean?
For one, I don't think they're actually going to do that in an actual house when murders happen.
That's another thing. He was able to access the webcam and help them avoid murders. But he can only...
In 2002?
In 2002! Bro, that shit would have took forever for them to get that message. He'd already got knives in their throat and shit.
They said I dial up back in the day.
There's so much fucking awful with this film. I also don't care about our protagonist. Like, she gives me, like, nothing.
She's bland.
She's bland as a motherfucker. Alright, Ray, what's number 10?
My number 10 is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
I'm going to go ahead and say my number 10 is Halloween Season of the Witch. We can go ahead and get this out the way.
Damn.
Let's just talk about it.
I don't mind the idea, right?
Yeah, the idea's alright.
But it was the 80s. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to do an anthology series.
Sure.
Okay, fine. For one, special effects were just god horrible.
Yeah.
The acting in the movie is just god horrible. Mm-hmm. And
there's a whole subplot with that dude getting with that woman like this. Like, she's like way younger than him. Dude. But she's like so into him.
Dr. Chalice is a pimp.
He was a pimp.
And an alcoholic.
It doesn't belong in the Halloween series.
I really like the idea of having an expanded Halloween universe. After Halloween ends, what's going to happen? I mean, it's either going to be another fucking reboot, or you can actually explore some of these things that you failed on previously. Mm-hmm. That's to pose the question, do you go back to an anthology series? I mean, because it's being brought up like, are we going to go there? I don't know. But if you take Halloween 3 just even out of the franchise as a standalone movie, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
One scene, this bitch gets bit by a snake on the foot and she just dies. She's like, oh, heart attack.
Like, I think one of them got bit, the dude fell down dead and the snake bit him. What does that have to do with this shit?
Nothing.
Electricity that kills like 30 fucking people?
And then the green slime, everybody bleeds out. I don't know.
There's like 3 different sex scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Why? It's literally just that. It's just that one over and over again. Ray, what is number 9?
This is getting into the shady territory.
Yeah.
Because some of these are interchangeable, but I've made my mind up. I'm gonna go with Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Okay.
Next. Okay, coming off of Halloween 4. One good thing about coming off Halloween 3 is Halloween 4. Okay, I know they got the mask wrong.
Yes, they got it awful. Oh,
but again, the movie itself, it had a great atmosphere, a Halloween atmosphere. Halloween 5, it picks up directly where it left off, right?
Yep.
And there is nothing Halloween-ish about this. Okay, you have the mask is fucking terrible. I'm talking about Halloween 5 now, not 4. The mask is fucking terrible. I mean, god awful. Tina in this movie is so fucking annoying. Jamie, I know she has that speech problem, like she can't talk anymore. She's got like this weird psychic thing with Michael Myers now. And I know that plays in with 6, but even like you made Dr. Loomis this fucking nutcase. Like he's not even Dr. Loomis no more.
No.
So you took everything good from Halloween and you shit on it. Like everything.
100%. What's something good you actually liked about it?
The score.
I thought this movie is good for all of it. The score.
And the intro.
And the intro?
And the intro.
My number 9 is Halloween 6. Curse of Michael Myers.
I respect it.
I'll go ahead and give you the good.
I like it. I respect it.
I'm a fan of Paul Rudd.
Yep.
Okay? I like Paul Rudd in this movie, doing what he could. The kills in this, I liked them. Like the dad and the fucking, like the... Like, not the edited one they gave us, but the other one where, like, they hit him with the, like, electricity, and, like, he fucking, like, blew his fucking eyes out.
Talking about the producer's cut of the movie?
Yeah, the producer's cut of the film. Because there's, like, multiple different shots of this film. Another reason I'm not a big fan of this film, this is, like, There's like several different endings. The biggest thing I don't like about this is the cult aspect of the film. Michael is not something that's going to be set in stone. You can't plan around Michael and like, okay, this is it. We're good. No, Michael is a cold-blooded murdering machine, and you're just like, well, he's got the mark.
Nah, he don't follow orders. Fuck out of here.
For most of this film, like I'm not a big fan of it. Like I said, that dad is an absolute fucking ass.
Oh yeah,
an ass hat in this film. That's why it's so great that he got murdered the way he did. But if I had to give you something good, I like Paul Rudd. That's about as much as I'm gonna give you. Like I mean, the score was pretty good too.
Beautiful.
Good. What's your number? Was it 8?
This is where I'm about to piss people off. Mine is Halloween H2O.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And hear me out.
Okay.
It was a big jump from 6, right? Because we were just talking about 6. The main thing I don't like about Halloween H2O, this movie has always been higher on my list, like always. Mm-hmm. But rewatching it now that I'm older and wiser, for one, I can't stress this enough. I hate the guy who plays Michael in this. Okay, this is one of the weakest Michaels I have ever seen. And it all goes back to they had to reshoot half the movie because they couldn't get the mask right. You had you had 4 different masks in this film. You had the main one, you had the K&B, or the KHB, the plain white one looked fucked up. You had the CGI one, and then you had the introduction where it was the resculpt from Halloween 6. So they couldn't get that right. They fired the composer of this film like a month before its release, and they had to recompose everything. And they still didn't like it. So you know what they did? Fuck it, we'll use the Scream soundtrack. And that's fine, it's an ode. They have a long history with each other. All this was, even in Jamie Lee Curtis' words, a cash grab. It does not have a Halloween atmosphere. Michael Myers is a bitch in this film. Not as big as bitches like Resurrection and shit like that. But, I mean, Michael just gets his fucking ass whooped.
True.
And besides him coming to the school and coming after Laurie, nothing happens in the film.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I mean, you had LL Cool J. He was cool to see. It had a very good ending. But I knew it was bullshit. I no longer really like watching this movie at what it is now. When we followed up with like Resurrection. Because you went from this brutal ass Michael in 6. Like brutal. Next to Tyler Mane and fucking James U. Courtney's to this dude who's getting his fucking kicking the balls and going to the ground. Like how do you do that?
What's something good you like about it?
Some pros about it. I like the odes to Scream. Because Scream is a franchise which is near and dear to my heart. I did like the ending. Like, if this was the end of the original canon franchise, I wouldn't like it. I'd be okay with it, you know? I don't think this should be like your final movie to get rid of Michael. No, it wasn't that at all.
My number 8 is Revenge, which is number 5. It all goes back to the whole cult thing. Once you brought Michael Myers back after 3, and then you introduced this cult aspect, you threw me all the way off. And I'm not saying it can't be done properly. I was just not a fan of the idea. But it's a big enough change from 1 and 2 to this.
Well, you got to think, too, like, if we was watching this movie, too, and we didn't have 6 and 7 and the else to go on, right? Yeah. If we was living in the 80s and you saw this movie, like, in theaters, like, you saw Michael and all this shit going on, but also you just had this man in a black robe running around, just in the background with no context. Yeah.
I can't really think of anything positive from this film right now.
Oh my God, and you remember the Myers house?
Oh my God.
That was like, what the fuck were y'all thinking? Like, he don't even look like a fucking... Because you had suburban house, and you had like this old gothic castle looking house. Like, what? That's not the fucking Myers house.
No.
Well, like, we had a small suburban 2-story in the 70s. Y'all had a fucking Hotel Transylvania going on.
Which one's the Michael Myers house, y'all? Oh, is that gothic looking motherfucker?
It's that tall motherfucker right there. My number 7. And this is another one that's interchangeable with my next one. Yeah. But I think overall, God, it's so hard. Last minute, I'm going to swap these. I'm going to go Halloween 6. And what we're saying is nothing you don't already know. Some people really like this movie. I'm one of them. This will always be not high, but a little more than mid-range for me because you're coming off of 5, right? The shit show with 5. 4 wasn't bad, but 5 was god horrible. And I know 6, some people hate 6 more than 5, which I respect it. This portrayal of Michael Myers is up there with the most brutal. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's more brutal than 78, 81, H4. I mean, it's up there with Tyler Mane and fucking James U. Courtney. This Michael Myers did not fuck around. The cons of it, yes, the story wasn't finished. I did 2 different versions of the films. I did like Loomis in this. I really liked Loomis. The only thing I didn't like is that Loomis and Michael never ever shared a scene together. Again, the score itself, the theatrical version and the producer's cut is fucking awesome. Alan Howarth did a great job of that. I mean, he did 4, 5, and 6. I mean, and 2. So he's always going to have that touch on him. I don't like the cult aspect of this movie, but I feel like if you're bringing Loomis out of retirement, you have Paul Rudd as an adult Tommy, and Tommy's like his trauma is so fucked up, like he can't move on, like he's always on the lookout, and then when it actually happens, he's prepared. You know, when Michael comes back to Haddonfield, if nobody's going to listen, he's going to go to Loomis. Loomis and Tommy's going to stop him. And you kill off Jamie, which I didn't like him killing off Jamie in that aspect, but her death scene's fucking
Oh, yeah. 7 for me is part 4. Again, it leads back into the cult thing. Also, the whole ending with Jamie, where she's like, she's standing there, fucking, it was scissors, right? It was fucking scissors. And then Loomis is like, no, because now he thinks that she's like gonna turn to like how Michael is. And so like, he's gonna go try to kill her. But like, everybody's like, no, she's a child. Like, Loomis is obviously seeing this shit. He's like, We just got rid of fucking Michael. There's no way we're dealing with this shit. I get it. He's trying to murder a child. But the man hasn't had a bad track record. And it's not a bad film. Like you said, it's not bad. It's straightforward. The introduction of Jamie was not what I would have thought was going to happen when they came. You know, when you come back from Season of the Witch. It just felt weird that was his thing. That's why he came out of the coma. Like he hears about it, so he's like, fuck it. Bang, I'm gonna go after her. It's odd, like, you know what I mean. Like, I don't think that's like his thing. Like, especially like what we've seen with Halloween 2018 and Kills. You know, I don't think that would have been his motivation. I think his whole motivation is, fuck it. I just gotta, I gotta kill. I gotta get where I need to be.
Well, number 6 is Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween reboot.
Cool.
Rob Zombie had the job of rebooting the classic 1978. Halloween. Did I think he did that well? I wouldn't go as far. Did I think he'd do okay? He did okay. Especially with his first film. I didn't like the whole backstory of Michael. I shouldn't have to explain why.
Yeah.
Because it's just Rob Zombie's-esque. And don't get me wrong. I know I shit on Rob Zombie a lot. I like Rob Zombie. I like his music. I like his films. I like House of 1,000 Corpses. I like fucking 3 from Hell's okay. I like the other one. What's the other one I was talking about?
We had the same conversation because we couldn't remember what the one was.
So I don't mind Rob Zombie as a filmmaker. The whole thing that made Michael scary was you didn't know why this 6-year-old kid in this well-inhabited suburban area just snapped one fucking day and killed his sister. You got this motherfucker chopping up rats and fucking perving on his sister after she had sex with her boyfriend. And her mom's a stripper, and you had this asshole stepdad, and
that family dichotomy was just, it was shit.
It was too much.
Yeah.
I'm all broken up here, bitch. I can't work. As much as I hate the whole family thing, that dad, I fucking loved him. He's just funny to me.
What's some of the good things about the film?
Tyler Mane.
By far.
Danny Trejo?
Yeah, Danny Trejo was dope.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
The whole asylum scene.
You can't really go wrong with Danny Trejo.
Right. And I like the backstory of how Loomis, and I love fucking Loomis in this movie. I love how they explored him in the days of the asylum, right? I didn't necessarily like him speaking as a kid, but when he was growing up and Loomis couldn't reach him no more, and then he breaks out and goes back to Haddonfield, I fucking loved it. The score was on point. I felt like the movie was dragging at some points. Tyler Mane's Rob Zombie to go after Lori because he's just trying to get back with his family instead of just trying to kill her. I know a lot of people didn't like that twist. I was okay with it. You know what? If not, you're just making the same movie with a different cast. I say this all the time. If you have to make a reboot, you have to do something different. I respected the attempt. It was an okay movie. I thought it was an acceptable reboot. Not bad, but not great. Right in the middle.
So 6 for me is H2O. It's not a top tier film. There are some things that bring it down for you. one of the big things for me is like Jamie Lee Curtis. It's hard to dislike her in any of these films. To me, I like the fact that she's trying to move on with her life. The whole school aspect was kind of weird to me. I like that intro scene in the house or whatever. Like they got murdered and like the two kids or whatever.
Marion.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guy who did the Loomis voiceover was really good too.
Yeah, he was on point. I like that. LL Cool J was fun, but for the most part, like Ray said, he's a pretty weak ass. He's a pretty weak ass Michael Myers. The only strong aspect that you could kind of give him was like he lifted old buddy up with that fucking knife. You know what I mean? With just a knife and lifted him up and like he's like fucking shaking and shit.
Yeah.
That's about as strong as you get. Everything else is just he's literally getting his ass beat down in this film. Overall, like I said, this is like in the middle of the road as I can get for this film. Would I watch it again? Yeah, probably. It's not that bad. All right, we're in our top 5 now.
All right, my number 5 is Halloween 4.
That's what I figured.
So Halloween 4 used to be on the lower tier of my list, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll say this again. The reason it's grown on me so much is because even watching these previous movies that I've said in my list, this has what I think what every other movie lacks, and that's the Halloween atmosphere. They didn't get the costume right, which that's just a reoccurring thing in Halloween movies. Yeah. I guess it's easy to fuck up. I mean, from the introduction alone, when Michael's being transported, you have the fucking stormy ass day, and the fucking score comes in hard as hell. Yeah. That's badass. Yeah. Michael wakes up in an ambulance, fucking kills that dude with his fucking thumb in his fucking forehead. That's badass. I mean, where do you go from 3? I mean, if you go from 3 to this, I think it's a fucking masterpiece. I understand why they went the whole Jamie route, because Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back. Mm-hmm. So you're like, oh fuck, do we recast? No. At this point, no, because it's only 10 years later. You have an excellent cast. I mean, I know Michael didn't look right, but the portrayal of him is really good.
And Loomis.
And Loomis in this film is classic Loomis. An older, wiser one, because, he's got the fucked up face now because he got burned up.
Yeah.
But you also got Rachel, that's her name.
Rachel.
Who's playing alongside of Jamie. Them two together steal the show for me. They tap on the idea of the trauma of Haddonfield, which I really liked. You had those townspeople come up, and they went and searched for fucking Michael. I think that's a realistic thing to do, because the sheriff was like, no, let me handle it. They're like, no, fuck that. He killed our families. We're going after him. And I like that.
And then they said, evil dies tonight.
Yeah. They had picket signs and shit. But I like that they explored that early. I'm not so harsh on the ending myself, because if it ended here, it would have been fine, right?
Yeah.
And then you had 5 and shit like that. But again, I'm not against the idea now that I'm older of expanding this universe. Do you just keep rebooting Michael Myers over and over, or do you explore something else? Yeah. If I had to pick, explore something else. Where does this go?
So my number 5 is going to be Rob Zombie's number 1. I believe this was the second actual Halloween movie that I watched ever in my life, because I didn't get to watch them when I was younger. My dad was big on Child's Play.
I was opposite. I was big on Friday growing up, and then I went to Halloween.
I'm gonna use some pros. The idea of let's give his backstory in a way. I don't like the whole killing the animals things or whatever. Like him having he's real big on family, or at least the ones that actually he thinks would care about it. It's obvious his stepdad don't. His mom's always fucking working.
Michelle, my baby.
And his sister's just trying to get dick down. So why would he fucking care? Him have perving on his sister was fucking weird. The dad did make me laugh a couple times. Bitch, I'll come across this table and skull fuck the shit out of you. I made me laugh. It's fucking stupid. I get begging for your life, right? That dude that was bullying him at school. So Michael said, fuck this, I had enough. And Michael's gonna take this dude out, and the dude realized, fuck, he's gonna kill me. He's begging for his life. He's it's too late to beg, bro. It's too late to apologize. You're done. You might as well just accept reality.
The soundtrack of this alone is great. Not only the Halloween score, but in the beginning where the mother's sad about everything that's going on. They play Love Hurts. Yeah, that was pretty good. It's beautifully tied in. Yeah. You can touch on the backstory, right? There's nothing wrong with it. No. But you have to keep the mystique there. Mm-hmm. You have to.
When Danny Trejo just overstepped his boundaries. Because he's Michael sort of cares about you. Sort of. But like, he was like, I'm going to put you back in these handcuffs.
No, you ain't.
It was so tough to watch Danny Trejo get murdered.
His last words, I was good to you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Fucking TV to the head.
Yeah. Welcome to prom time, bitch. If I'm calculating this right, we both have not the exact, like maybe not the same exact order, but we have the same 4 films left in our top 4. Top 4.
My number Quattro. Gracias, amigo.
De nada.
Is. See. My number 4 is Halloween 2 from 1981.
Wow, bro. I didn't think that was going to be it. I thought we were going to have the same one on this one.
You was wrong.
I was wrong.
So 1981, right? So it picks up directly where it left off. Mm-hmm. Okay, and there's not a whole lot of cons about this film. Like, we're in the top 4. These are the upper films. Are like, these are good fucking Halloween movies.
Like, these could stand alone. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, well, not really stand alone because 2 needs part 1. But either way,
y'all know the backstory of this one. If you don't, let me give a very brief summary. John Carpenter didn't want to make this film. He didn't want to. He wanted to make an anthology, but he was kind of forced to do so. If anybody's gonna do this, I want to do it. So he did it. So it picks up directly where it leaves off. Laurie Strode's in the hospital. Michael makes his way there. And there's a showdown in the hospital. Loomis is back. Donald Pleasance, phenomenal actor. Jamie Lee Curtis reprises her role. Great. The things I didn't like about this movie, however, is I like the look of Michael. I love the way he looked because it's just legit the same thing as the first one. Same mask, same outfit. I didn't really like Dick Warlock's portrayal of Michael. The way he moves compared to Nick Castle was like really robotic. He walks so slow. It's just awkward at times. This is one of the ones I'm not real crazy about the score with. It had like this techno vibe to it. I really, really didn't like.
Could have done without that.
One things they do explore is these subplots. There's a scene here where this kid comes to the ER with razor blades in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
From candy. And evidently, that was supposed to go somewhere in the anthology series, but it never did. But the kills in this, they're fucking awesome. You got the naked-ass bitch with her titties slopping in the fucking hot tub, getting her face bowled. You got the syringe kill. So you got good kills. Like I said, the only thing that puts it down for me, the portrayal of Michael Myers himself. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because it's good. Like, it's in the up and up. There's certain moments in this where it feels like it just drags on a little bit. And like you're waiting for something to happen. And I don't like that in Halloween films.
My number 4 is Halloween Kills.
Called it.
You did. It's mostly because going back on this film, when we watched it initially, I really, really liked it. We reviewed it. And I was giving it a bunch of praise. Biggest thing is it's kind of a filler Halloween in a way. It's mostly literally there for the extreme hardcore kills and everything. We really don't move the plot forward from Halloween 2018. Like, we really don't move anywhere. It's kind of because it's literally like it's that night. You know what I mean? And like the next, like it's the same.
Like the 36-hour night?
Yeah, it's a 36 fucking hour night. We've already made the joke. Evil dies tonight. They say that way too many fucking times in this film. The biggest positives from this film are the kills.
Yeah.
The kills are fucking brutal. Him coming out of that fire looked fucking phenomenal. Like, I wish they hadn't had that in the fucking trailer. Like, it looked so goddamn good. Other inmate thing, I didn't really care that they put it in there, but they made me feel fucking sad for that dude. Yeah. I love that. Like, he made me feel for a fucking character I didn't even fucking know. I loved Big John and Little John. They made me fucking laugh.
Old buddy from Mad TV?
Yeah. I do like how they tied in what happened at the end of 2018. They brought her boyfriend back.
Yeah.
I don't really think we needed him in the film, especially since he was such a shitty person in the other one. The fuck are we doing with Laurie? She literally did nothing in this film. She's in the hospital. She got up once. Ow, my stitches. Back to the hospital bed. This has to be at least in my top 5. And at the end of the day, I like it more than I like Rob Zombie's first film. I don't like it more than the top 3, which is why I was like, yeah, I have to settle in my 4th spot. Overall, it's not a bad film. It's just a filler film. I feel like we could advance something.
All right, my number 3 is Halloween Kills.
Go.
I want to rant about this a little bit.
Sure.
Because I semi-disagree with everything you just said.
Okay.
Respectfully. The majority of what I've read on feedback about this film is the Laurie angle, right? That's one of the biggest complaints. I really, really like that Laurie sat in the background of this film. I mean, we had 78, we had 2018. It's time for something fucking different. I'm really glad she sat in the background. I like the scene with Laurie and Brackett. I did because, again, you cannot take into effect any other timelines but 1978. You have a big void here, right? And they're just trying to fill in a little gap there.
That's fine.
I like Laurie sitting in the background because I don't need 4 fucking films of Laurie and Michael fighting. I don't need that. I really like that they focused on the town's trauma. The sheriff basically is at a fucking loss on what to do because this motherfucker's roaming around killing people. It's very realistic. If there was somebody killing here, like killing in this neighborhood who was killing 40 years ago and we couldn't find them, we're going to lock our doors, we're going to pump our fucking shotguns, and some of these crazy motherfuckers are going to go after him. I really like that. And I cannot give props to fucking James Courtney enough for embodying Michael Myers.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Like, I really solely believe that he was born, for, not for this role, for this fucking trilogy we have. Like, there's no other person who could do it better. On top of that, the fucking score. I'm talking about from opening scene to end scene. When he comes out of the fire, the fucking rock thing. If you look on my Spotify, my first playlist is Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
I listen to just the soundtrack every day because John Carpenter is one of my favorite fucking composers. And he blows my fucking mind. At the showdown, it's called Payback, right? From when Michael gets his mask took off, Karen goes down the road, and they have this orchestrated fucking badass fucking theme. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The scene alone, the cinematics, like you've never had this. And I don't give a fuck who disagrees. You have never had scenes like this in Halloween films, ever. So that alone puts it up for me. James G. Courtney puts it up for me. I like Karen dying because that's going to give fuel for the next movie.
I can agree with
I'm
that.
very, very afraid of what they're going to do with the next movie. I don't think the next movie is going to be good, honestly. But I like that Karen died in the same way that Judith did. That goes back to what everything else is just failing to ignore. The mystique of Michael Myers. You don't know why you're doing it. I know I'm praising this film a lot. There are cons in the film, for sure. One of the cons I have is them bringing everybody back from 78 and just killing them off immediately. Marianne, old girl survived. Well, Tommy died at the end. He got his. I didn't feel like we needed the hospital scene like James said. I was really sad old buddy fucking killed himself. It was either that or be killed by strangers.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm not going to let you take me out.
But I feel like that scene wasn't needed. I don't see how that contributed to the fucking story. And it kind of got in this template where like some things were kind of dragging. Then you have these fucking action kills. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then it just happens again. It's like, oh, fuck. But at the end of the day, I'll take this any fucking... I forgot to mention, real quick, about why Halloween Kills is up there for me. The fucking flashback scene.
Yeah.
The flashback. How do we forget that? The young actor who portrayed Michael was...
Oh, it was so good.
I mean, it was
so good.
Orgasmic. The guy who portrayed Loomis, he was a little bit off, a little bit.
But he looked like it. He did it.
He played the fuck out of that part.
Yeah.
Again, I'll state, I didn't like this as much the second time watching it as I did in theaters.
Sure.
That's why it's not on my fucking top 2 or 3.
Number 3 for me is Halloween 2. So we literally just switched these. You bring back the majority cast. You know what I mean? You brought the cast back. Jamie Lee Curtis is phenomenal. The Michael's movements were odd. Very fucking odd. The love angle was weird for me. Where like it was that dude, I think his name was Jimmy.
That's right, Jimmy, yeah.
Jimmy. Where like he's feeling her or whatever. And that's fine. And then that one woman was like trying to separate them because of it.
Yeah, you could argue that he's just trying to take advantage of a bad situation.
True. I get that. I do like the kills in this film. I wish we'd have gone more away from the hospital. I get the hospital aspect. I really like how they tied it in from the first film. You know what I mean? We literally picked up. You know what I mean? You start answering questions immediately. There's people who like, as soon as the other one ended, like, so what the fuck happened? Thank you. You answered the questions. I like that. I like how Sheriff Brackett said, fuck y'all. I just found out my daughter died. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Or that's a response I would have had. So I fucking get that. Like it started off.
There was a long period where nothing happened.
Yeah, they started off pretty good, and then it just really died down. Like for it to be a follow up from the original, exactly what we needed in that day. Mm-hmm. In that day, like now, like if they gave us both of these same feels and they came out in like 2021, 2022, does not hit the same. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of was the aspect of her being his sister. All right, so top 2. Again, we are down to the same top 2. I would be remiss if we did not have the same order.
Drum roll. Halloween 1978.
Yep, same as me.
I'm kidding.
Oh, for real? Yes.
Mine is Halloween 2018. If I had to describe the film, it is the absolute perfect follow-up to 1978. If you erase everything like they did, and you had to have another film 40 years later, I believe this is the exact film that was needed. You explored Michael locked up. That's fine. You didn't go deep into it, but you got a little bit of Loomis' backstory of how he followed it until his death. You see Michael locked up. You see these reporters who are just trying to make a living off this story, you know, trying to get a paycheck off of it. Shit goes south. Laurie Strode in this film is like a Laurie we haven't seen before.
True.
She's not like the 1981 Laurie or the H2O Laurie. This is a fucking survivalist, like traumatized Laurie. I didn't like the Sartain thing. How he was kind of more obsessed with the whole thing than Michael was. I believe that was the whole thing because they threw away the brother-sister storyline of this, right? Yeah. And that's fine. But Sartain in the film led Michael to Laurie. I feel like if that would have never happened, Laurie Strode wouldn't be the main focal point in this. Because I think, truly, Michael Myers don't give a fuck about Laurie in this film.
Yeah.
He was just brought there. Other than that, when Michael gets his mask, I mean, he just goes to town. The fucking score. When he returns to Haddonfield, The Shape Returns is the title of the score track. I mean, it's fucking perfect. Because you had a really good mix. What I like about this one, you had a really good mix of the original Halloween. You also had a really good mix of 1981 feels put together. I love the ending. The ending where, because before we got Halloween Kills, it had not yet been confirmed we was getting 2 more films. This could have been the end of Michael Myers. And to have him burning in the house, when I saw this in theaters, I legit almost teared up. Because in a fucked up way, I love Michael. To see him go, like this was the final film, I'm shedding tears. The way they trapped him, the way him and Laurie fought, how he got distracted for a second after he threw Laurie out the balcony, looked back, and the fucking predator becomes prey. You know what I'm saying? Tricked his ass. I love the twist in this. When Michael goes back to Haddonfield, the continuous shot of him going through the fucking town and just wrecking motherfuckers.
I was literally gonna talk about that.
The cons, again, I didn't like the Sartain angle.
Yeah.
I didn't like how the reporters somehow had Michael's mask. Like, I figured that would be in, like, police storage somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a connection, but whatever. Other than that, I don't have a lot of cons for this movie. Like, this is a good fucking movie. Like, I enjoyed this over Kills. But I do feel like Kills is the perfect follow-up to 2018.
So my number 2 is 1978. Not a lot of bad things happened in this film, especially since they had a shit budget. One of the cons is at one point they needed some runtime. They literally just had a movie on screen. Other than that, for what they had, for the little ass budget they had, it was dope. The way they kept putting Michael Myers in certain situations and then gone. The way they brought in Jamie Lee Curtis. Like that scene with her looking out the window, you know what I mean? And she sees him, then bam, gone like it's nothing. Very rare that you're going to get a fucking franchise where the first film is bad and then they make the next one better. I couldn't name one, honestly. You know, you got fucking Nick Castle. Nick Castle plays a role well for the 1978 film. The deaths that we do get in this are nice. They're fucking classic. The fucking butcher knife we get stuck up on the wall, put up there. Sheriff Brackett's daughter's death. Annie, yes. I like her death in this film. Loomis. Like how he goes from just your typical fucking like doctor, psychiatrist situation and everything. Like I realize this man is a monster. You know what I mean? I realize this is what he's doing. Mm-hmm. We have to put an end to this. Cliffhanger aspect, even though a lot of people don't like it, I really do like the cliffhanger aspect of this film. For one, if they never got another film, at least they would have people asking questions.
If you had just that ending scene and nothing else, I'm telling you, man, the human imagination is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you start asking questions like, oh, fuck, what's going on?
Exactly. And I love that. But you know, we get another one. They answer the questions. I really respect it. Cons, like I said, like the only cons I can really think of is like how they tried to fill some time. But again, I got to give credit where it's due. This film put like everything else on the map. The fucking score alone, they would give you chills. Mm-hmm. It fits the mood. It makes this even if it's not terrifying, just it gives you that aspect of like, shit, something's about to fucking go down.
Yep.
Since we're already here, I know your number one's 78. I'll let you finish on that. I'm going to go ahead and talk about 2018 because that's my number one. Fucking James Jude Courtney. We've met this man. He is a phenomenal person. He tells us about how he gets in character.
He even shouted us out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
You should put that on there. When he's in the role, he's in the role. He is brutal. He even murders a fucking child. Like, we didn't get that in any of the other films. Like, there was hints that it might happen or whatever, but this motherfucker legit, and it was out of nowhere. I'm sitting here expecting the son to see the dad getting murdered, like, in front of him or some shit. No, somehow Michael got in this motherfucking car behind y'all when y'all left and came back. This motherfucker got in the car and he fucking destroyed this little kid. Lori's fucking to the point, like, it's to the point where she's like, I have to go this way because I know eventually this motherfucker is going to come back. I have to go this way. I have to do survivalist shit. I have to get my family in the same mode. A lot of the things, the kills are so fucking crazy. The fucking jack-o'-lantern thing.
Oh, the police.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Even Sartain's death, we get the foot.
I like how fucking Lori turned her house. Like, she knew, if I get this motherfucker here, I need this to be something extra. It was literally a trap house. Like, the film overall is like I said, it's my favorite Halloween film. It's literally a perfect sequel.
So 1978, man. The only word for this movie is mystique. It's just that. It's mysterious. If you ever watch the documentaries on like Friday the 13th series, what do they piggyback on? Openly admitting
to biting Halloween. And I'll admit, and I'm a Friday fan.
And I'm not trying to take away production value of those films because them films alone did their own thing. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is 1978, you got to think, this was a time where bad things didn't happen in the world. That's why Ted Bundy took the world by shock and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you just have this opening scene with this 6-year-old child, this normal 6-year-old child killing his fucking sister for no reason. Like, you don't get an explanation. That reasoning that you never get is what incorporates fear into people. Even to where he grows up 15 years later. He's now 21. He's a man now. What has he evolved into? You don't know. Dr. Loomis is there to try to explain to everybody, hey, this isn't a man. Not saying that he's supernatural in this, somewhat, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he tries to tell the whole town, tries to tell the fucking sheriff, guys, this is an evil motherfucker. He needs to be locked away. He goes back home to Haddonfield. And he wreaks havoc. And now, I know it's a slow burn. The way they keep the mystique about this film, other than 2018 and even Halloween Kills, the way Michael moves around, I don't mean like physically. His presence there, he's a mysterious entity. He can be behind you for 1 second, then he'll fucking disappear. Like, you never know where his mind's going. You can't predict what he's going to do. He could leave you alone and go kill your best friend. Like, you don't know what he's going to do. And the ending, the ambiguous ending. Again, if you just got that by itself, what does that leave open? If we was in that situation in real life and we heard all this shit, this killer is still out there. You don't know if he's coming next year, tomorrow. Again, Michael Myers is nothing but mystique. And that's what Michael Myers has that nobody else has ever or will ever have. Like, that's Michael's thing, you know? I know later on in the franchise, but fuck that. We're talking about the 78 film. This put horror arguably on the map for slashers. Mass slashers. I know you got Leatherface, but I mean, that you can dumb that up to like a Cannibal Family, right? But this was like the first fucking real slasher. There's no replacing 78. Took this from nothing and made this fucking masterpiece. And here we are in fucking 2021, and there's still, after all this time, John Carpenter came back. He said, fuck the rest of them. I'm coming back and I'm doing this right. And he's fucking breaking records at the box office.
Hell yeah.
Because he knows Michael Myers. And it all started in 1978.
There you have it, guys. If I'm sure that Ray put it up on the screen for y'all, so y'all can see the actual list or whatever. My number one was 2018. He was 78. Our least favorite, mine was Rob Zombie 2. Yours was Resurrection.
That's our ranking. Let us know if you agree. I'm sure mine's way different than yours.
Especially with you having Curse so high.
I like Curse.
But yeah, let us know if y'all disagree. I'm sure you will. And these are not set in stone. Ray might watch these movies next year and be like, you know what? It can all change.
Yep.
Let us know where you're at, guys. We really appreciate y'all watching these rankings. We're trying to do as many of these franchises as we can. So we thank y'all for watching. All right. Until next time, deuces.
Adios.
Evil Dies Tonight.
Let me tell you how it's about to go. Let me show you the towel you're about to throw. This is hip-hop, try to run in our house, we'll knock your ass straight out the door. I'm the enemy's epitome, the fantasy, my tendency to mentally give your career the death penalty. I instantly advise you to match my intensity, try to fit my brain like Jackie Kennedy. I'm so tired of the why not side of putting MCs in a pine box. You motherfuckers couldn't even hit me in my blind.